Ask people what could end civilization, and you get a familiar shortlist. Nuclear war, engineered pandemics, rogue artificial intelligence, maybe climate collapse if they are feeling thorough. Almost nobody says a microbe that is chemically left-handed, the wrong way. That silence is the point. In December 2024, 38 of the world's top scientists, including Nobel laureates and leaders in immunology, ecology, and biosafety, published a warning in the journal Science. The title was blunt: Confronting Risks of Mirror Life. Alongside it came a nearly 300-page technical report. Their ask was not subtle. Pause funding for research that could create self-replicating mirror organisms. Treat this field the way physicists eventually learned to treat certain kinds of nuclear research, with breaks, not just curiosity. Some people called it biology's Oppenheimer moment. Most of the public never heard it. Here is the belief that makes the warning sound overdramatic. Life is just chemistry. If you can build the pieces, building a mirror version is just clever science. Another tool, another paper, another breakthrough. That belief is almost right. And almost right is where the danger hides. Start with a question so ordinary it feels childish. When you raise your left hand in front of a mirror, the reflection raises its right. Same face, same star, same smile. Different handedness. Your left and right hands look alike until you try to shake with the wrong one. They are mirror images. They do not stack. They do not fit the same glove. Chemists call this chirality, from the Greek for hand. Molecules can have the same atoms, the same bonds, and still come in left and right versions that cannot be rotated into each other, like two L-shaped Tetris pieces that refuse the same hole.
Rocks do not care. Mountains do not care. Most of the non-living world is a mixed bag of left molecules, right molecules, and symmetric ones that have no handedness at all. Life cares. Every protein in every cell on Earth is built from amino acids that are overwhelmingly left-handed. 19 of the 20 standard amino acids have a chiral form, and biology chose left. The 20th, glycine, is symmetric. It has no hand to choose. The sugars in DNA and RNA? The opposite preference. Life's genetic backbone runs on right-handed sugars. So the common picture that nature builds randomly from whatever is available fails at the first serious look. Life is not a random pile of bricks. Life is a one-sided architecture. If God built you with left-handed proteins and wrote your genetic memory in right-handed sugars, that is a metaphor. The chemistry is not. Why does that matter? Because a mirror version of life is not sci-fi decoration. It is a chemically coherent alternative. In 1953, the Miller-Urey experiment shocked a flask of water, methane, and ammonia with sparks meant to stand in for early Earth lightning. Amino acids appeared, both left and right, roughly balanced. Nature can make both hands. Life on Earth somehow locked onto one. Was that because only left-handed amino acids can build working proteins? No, laboratories have already proven otherwise. In 1992, chemists at the Scripps Research Institute synthesized a mirror image version of an HIV protease, a molecular scissors the virus needs to cut itself into infectious pieces. The mirror enzyme worked. It cut a mirror substrate the way the natural enzyme cuts the natural one. Left scissors for left chains, right scissors for right chains. The parts can run. That single fact changes the stakes. Mirror life is not forbidden by physics. It is missing from Earth by history, or by selection, or by something we still do not understand.
And if the parts can run, the next question is inevitable. What happens if a whole organism runs? This is where the common belief collapses. People imagine a mirror wolf, a mirror lion, a mirror competitor you can see and shoot. That story is wrong in the way that matters. The nightmare is not a mirror predator hunting you. The nightmare is a mirror microbe that does not need you as food, and that nothing in your ecosystem can eat. Ordinary bacteria live inside a food web. Predators, viruses, immune systems, and decay organisms keep them in check. Death is recycled. Carbon moves. Nitrogen moves. The corpse becomes someone else's lunch. A self-replicating mirror bacterium would sit outside that web. Many microbes can live on inorganic nutrients, water, minerals, simple carbon sources with no handedness. A mirror bug could drink the same rivers and breathe the same air while converting useful raw materials into mirror biomass your world cannot digest. It would have no natural predators. Evolving a mirror predator from scratch would take evolutionary deep time if it happened at all. Meanwhile, the mirror population would keep growing. When it dies, the problem does not end. Mirror corpses may not rot in a familiar way. Without a matching community of mirror decomposers, dead mirror biomass can linger like plastic, chemically stubborn, ecologically useless, slowly converting the living world's feedstock into something your ecosystem cannot reclaim. Bacteria become microplastic. Wolves become plastic statues. The metaphor is crude. The direction of the risk is not. Then comes the body. Your immune system is a recognition machine trained on left-handed chemistry. A right-handed invader may be hard to see, hard to grab, and hard to destroy. Even if your defenses notice the damage, toxins, waste, inflammation, they may not be able to clear the source.
So the body does what panicked systems do. It escalates. More immune activity, more collateral damage, autoimmune-like chaos, poisoning from metabolites the bug sheds. In the worst cases, you die from the toxin or from your own immune system failing to finish a job it was never built to finish. Antibiotics? Most drugs are chirality matched to our biochemistry. A medicine designed for left-handed life can be useless against a right-handed target. Extreme heat, extreme acid, extreme alkali, scorched earth methods are the blunt tools that remain. That is why the warning was not, please be careful in the abstract. It was, do not build a self-copying mirror organism you cannot recall. One escape into the wild may be enough. You will not find every cell. You will not vacuum the ocean. You will not negotiate with something that does not share your chemistry. So why is anyone building toward this at all? Because the upside is real, and that is what makes the almost right story so sticky. First, long-acting medicine. Your body is excellent at destroying foreign molecules. Enzymes chew drugs. Immune cells treat some therapies as invaders. That is why you swallow a pill 3 times a day, or inject a peptide that fades, or watch a treatment that worked last month quietly stop working. Rapid drug and mirror chemistry, or build a mirror active molecule that your left-handed degraders cannot easily dismantle, and you get something closer to invisibility. Longer half-life, fewer doses. In principle, therapies that stay on target instead of dissolving into noise. That dream shows up in cancer research, antiviral research, even the fantasy of a weight loss drug that doesn't have to fight your clearance systems every week. Second, a chemical sandbox.
Pathogen research is a knife fight with gloves on. Studying high-risk viruses in our own biochemical language always carries leak anxiety. A mirror virus that cannot productively infect left-handed cells looks, on paper, like a safer experimental cage. Learn mechanisms on the other side of the mirror, then translate the knowledge back into drugs for our world. Third, the origin of life question. If you can assemble a working mirror biology, you learn what is contingent and what is necessary. You stress test whether life's handedness was destiny, accident, or selection. That is not a small scientific prize. It is one of the deepest questions humans ask. So the temptation is obvious. Build the safe tools, harvest the drugs, keep the organisms locked away, claim the risk is manageable because you are careful. That sentence has ended badly in every technological century that uttered it with confidence. Careful is not a containment strategy for something that replicates. The scientists sounding the alarm include people who helped open this door. That matters. It is easy to dismiss outsiders as anti-science. Harder to dismiss researchers who looked at their own trajectory and said, stop before self-replication. Has the world stopped? Not really. Calls are not laws. Labs still decide. Nations still compete. The frontier is moving. Enzymes that copy mirror DNA, machines that help assemble mirror proteins, stepwise approaches toward a mirror ribosome. The ribosome is the cell's protein factory. Build a working mirror ribosome, and you no longer hand-assemble every piece. The system starts building itself. That is the line between interesting chemistry and a new tree of life. Which brings us back to the mystery everyone wants resolved too quickly. Why is Earth not already full of right-handed life? One camp says the universe itself has a preference. In 1956 and 1957, physicists showed that parity, left-right symmetry, is not sacred in the weak nuclear force. Cobalt-60 decay experiments demonstrated that nature can tell left from right at the most fundamental level. Pauli had scoffed that he did not believe God was a weak left-hander. The data forced a rewrite. The phrase stuck, God is a left-hander, meaning the cosmos at bottom is not perfectly mirror-blind. Maybe biology inherited a deeper bias. Another camp says contingency. The first successful lineage happened to be left-handed. Once it monopolized the planet's chemistry, any late-arriving right-handed competitor faced a locked market. Winner-take-all ecology, not divine preference. Both are incomplete. Both are uncomfortable. Because if handedness was contingent, mirror life should be possible, which is exactly why building it is dangerous. And if handedness is somehow preferred by physics, that still does not make a laboratory mirror organism safe. Preference is not a force field. A human-made mirror microbe does not need cosmic permission to exist. It needs nutrients and time. Here is the clearer model. Nuclear weapons are designed to destroy. Mirror life is not. That is why people miss it on extinction lists. A bomb announces itself. A self-replicating chemical outsider does not. It looks like progress until the day it looks like an irreversible ecological invasion, an immune blind spot, a form of pollution that metabolizes. The almost right belief is, if something is not designed as a weapon, it cannot be an extinction class risk. History disagrees. Accidents scale, incentives scale, replication scale. You do not need malice. You need a useful research program, a funding race, a containment assumption that fails once, and a biology that does not share your food web. So what should a sane civilization do?
Not burn every chiral chemistry paper. Chirality is how drugs work, how enzymes work, how half of modern molecular biology works. Separate the tools from the organism. Mirror molecules as medicines may be worth the risk under strict governance. Self-replicating mirror life is a different category, closer to releasing a new dominion of biology than synthesizing a better pill. Treat the difference like the difference between studying vision and assembling a device that can chain react in the open air. Ask who decides. Ask what pause means when prestige, patents, and national pride are on the table. Ask whether your comfort with AI risk has made every other risk feel small by comparison, including ones that do not trend. If this reframed the extinction shortlist in your head, like the video, leave a comment with what risk you think we underrate, share it with someone who still thinks biology is just chemistry, and subscribe to Almost Right. What everyone believes, what nobody checks.